There's an uncomfortable truth: a lot of people are not lacking in ability, knowledge, or ideas. What causes them to be underestimated is the way they speak. Just a few wrong opening phrases can instantly lower the way others see you. Less confident, less grounded, less convincing. Before people even have the chance to see how capable you are, they may already decide that you are not someone they can fully trust. The problem is that most people do not realize this. They think they are being humble, easygoing, or simply normal. But to the listener, those ways of speaking can signal uncertainty, fear of judgment, or a constant need for validation. And when those signals keep showing up, you slowly weaken your own presence at work, in relationships, and even in the most important opportunities that come your way. In this video, we are going to dive straight into 10 speaking habits that make you sound far less confident than you really are, and more importantly, how to fix each one so your words carry more weight starting today. Stay until the end, because the deeper we go, the more subtle and common these mistakes become. Habit 1. Starting with self-deprecation. Phrases like, "I'm not very good at this," but "I might be wrong," "My idea probably isn't that great," "I'm just saying this randomly," sound familiar. Many people use these openings to reduce pressure, so if they're wrong, it won't feel as embarrassing. But in reality, you're teaching others to undervalue what you're about to say before they even hear it. Self-doubt in your opening doesn't make you sound humble. It makes people assume, oh, this probably isn't that important, and in that very moment you lose your advantage. For example, in a meeting, instead of saying, "I'm not entirely sure, but I think this project is being delayed at the internal approval stage," say, "Based on my observation, the project is being delayed at the internal approval stage." Same content, completely different impact. The second sentence isn't arrogant. It's simply clearer and more accountable. Practical action. Starting today, cut out these 3 opening phrases. "I'm not sure," "I might be wrong," "My idea probably isn't that good." Replace them with stronger structures. "Based on my observation, the data suggests," "My perspective is." Confidence isn't about always being right. It's about clearly expressing what you believe with calmness. Habit 2. Overusing filler words that weaken your message. Phrases like, "Actually, basically." Filler words aren't inherently bad. Everyone uses them. But when they show up too often, they make you sound like you're searching for your thoughts, lacking control and missing sharpness. Confident people don't necessarily speak fast. They speak with pauses. People who lack confidence often fear silence, so they fill every gap with filler words. The result? Their sentences become longer, more diluted, and lose impact. For example, "I kind of feel like this plan is not really that solid," compared to "I see 2 issues with this plan." The second version is shorter, stronger, and keeps the listener focused. Practical action. Instead of using filler words, practice pausing for a second. A brief silence sounds far more mature than, You can train this by recording yourself speaking for 1 minute on any topic. Then listen back and mark every filler word. Just becoming aware of them already fixes half the problem. Right now, ask yourself, what filler word do you use the most? Write it down. Once you can name the habit, you can start controlling it. Habit 3. Turning statements into permission seeking. This is a very common mistake. You have a clear opinion, but you present it as if you're asking for permission to speak. For example, "I'm not sure if it's okay to say this. I just want to add a small comment. If everyone agrees, then I don't know if I should say this." The issue isn't just the wording, it reflects your mental stance. You're entering the conversation from a lower position. In many situations, especially at work, you don't need permission to share a valuable observation. You just need to say it at the right time in the right way. Instead of "I'm not sure if it's okay to say this, but I think this deadline might be unrealistic," say, "This deadline may be unrealistic because the team still has 3 unresolved tasks." See the difference? One is asking for permission to exist. The other is making a meaningful contribution. Practical action. Whenever you're about to share an opinion, ask yourself, am I presenting or am I asking for permission? If you're asking for permission, remove that part. Go straight to the point. Habit 4. Being overly indirect to avoid offending others. People who lack confidence often believe that being direct will make others dislike them, so they go in circles, adding layers of cushioning explanations and hints. The result? The listener has no idea what you actually mean. For example, "I think maybe we could consider a few more options." Not that this approach is bad or anything, just that there might be other ways that could be better. After hearing that people just feel exhausted, confident people don't have to be harsh, they're simply clear. And clarity is a form of respect. You can be gentle and still firm. This approach has strengths, but I suggest we explore one more option to reduce risk. That's the difference between being soft and being soft with strength. Practical action. Use this 3-step structure when giving feedback. Acknowledge what works, state clearly what needs improvement, offer an alternative. For example, this idea has potential. The part that needs adjustment is the message it's a bit too broad. I suggest narrowing it down to a more specific target audience. Don't confuse politeness with vagueness. Politeness makes your message easier to receive. Vagueness makes it hard to understand. Habit 5: nervous laughter after serious statements. Many people have the habit of saying something important, then immediately adding a small laugh, a nervous chuckle, or a tone that sounds like they're apologizing for what they just said. This is a very strong nonverbal signal. For example, I think we need to redo this part. Haha, I mean probably. I don't really agree. Laughs. But maybe I'm overthinking it. Smiling in communication is great, but laughing to distance yourself from your own words weakens your message. It signals that you're not fully standing behind what you're saying. Practical action. After making a serious point, keep a neutral expression for 2 seconds. No filler laughter. No breaking the rhythm. Just stay with what you said. It's a small adjustment, but it has a powerful impact. People will feel that you believe in your own words, and they'll start believing them too. If by now you've recognized at least 2 or 3 of these habits in yourself, that's actually a very good sign. The biggest problem isn't speaking poorly. It's speaking poorly without realizing what you're doing wrong. Take 10 seconds and comment the number of the habit you struggle with the most. The moment you can clearly name your pattern, change starts much faster. And if you want to build a more grounded, confident, and impactful communication style day by day, hit subscribe now, because the upcoming videos will help you improve not just your voice, but also your thinking and your presence in front of others. Habit 6: ending statements with a rising tone like a question. This is an extremely common mistake, especially among people who seek approval. Technically, they're making a statement, but their tone rises at the end, making it sound like a question. For example, I think this option is more suitable. Let's finalize this version tomorrow. I've already sent the email to them. When your tone goes up at the end, you unintentionally signal uncertainty. It sounds like you're checking for approval, reading the room, or waiting for permission. Even if your content is correct, your tone weakens your message. Practical action. When making a statement, let your voice drop at the end. You can practice by reading these 5 sentences daily. I agree with this direction. We need to revise the introduction. This is the priority for this week. I will take responsibility for that part. That's my perspective. Speak slowly. End each sentence firmly. Don't let your voice rise at the end. People don't just trust your words, they trust your tone. Habit 7: talking too much to prove you're right. People who lack confidence often think, I need to explain everything in detail for others to believe me. So they go on too long, repeat themselves, add unnecessary examples, and end up diluting their strongest point. Confident people don't overload with information. They choose the most important point and make it clear. For example, when disagreeing, weak approach. Talking for 3 minutes, circling around one idea, adding defensive statements. Strong approach, I disagree. Because there's a major risk. The implementation cost will exceed the team's current capacity. That's it. Clear, direct, reasoned, practical action. Before you speak, force yourself to answer 2 questions. What is my main point? What is my strongest reason? Start with just those 2. If others want more detail, they'll ask. Speaking briefly doesn't make you less intelligent, usually the opposite. The clearer you are, the less you need extra words to support yourself. After this video, try applying the 30 seconds per idea rule. Whenever you want to share a point, limit yourself to the first 30 seconds. It will push you to be sharper. Habit 8: over-apologizing for things that don't require an apology. Sorry for bothering you. Sorry for asking too many questions. Sorry for the feedback. Sorry for messaging a bit late. Sorry, I just want to clarify. Of course, apologizing when you've made a mistake is necessary. But apologizing for your presence, your initiative, or your valid needs makes you sound smaller little by little. Many people don't realize they're operating from a mindset where they feel like they're always a burden, and their language reflects that. Instead of, "Sorry for bothering you, I wanted to ask about the deadline," say, "I'd like to clarify the deadline so I can plan my work accordingly." Instead of, "Sorry, I just have a small suggestion," say, "I have a suggestion to make this part more effective." Practical action. Every time you're about to say sorry, pause and ask yourself, did I actually do something wrong, or do I just feel uncomfortable taking up space? If there's no real mistake, don't apologize. Replace it with, "Thank you for your patience. I'd like to clarify. I need more information. I have a suggestion." This is the shift from shrinking yourself to fully showing up. Habit 9. Using absolute language about yourself. I'm terrible at speaking. I'm really bad at communication. I always get nervous. I'm just not a confident person. I've never been good at expressing myself. When you repeat these statements, you're not just describing yourself, you're programming your identity. And others will start to see you exactly the way you describe yourself. Confident people aren't those who have never felt nervous. They simply don't turn a temporary state into a fixed identity. Instead of "I'm bad at communication," say "I'm improving my communication skills." Instead of "I'm not confident," say "I'm not there yet in some situations, but I'm working on it." Feel the difference. One shuts the door, the other opens a path for growth. Practical action. Start catching yourself when you use self-labeling language. Whenever you say something like "I'm a negative trait," replace it with "right now I'm working on." Language doesn't just reflect your thinking, it shapes it. Habit 10. Speaking without owning what you actually want. This is the deepest habit. Many people don't clearly express what they want, need, or disagree with because they're afraid of being seen as difficult, ambitious, or too strong. So they say things like, "I'm fine with anything. Whatever works. Anything is okay with me. I'll go with whatever everyone decides." The problem is, if you don't own your preferences, it's very hard to sound confident, because at its core, confidence is the ability to show up clearly with what you think, want, and choose. For example, when asked which option you prefer, instead of "anything is fine with me," say "I lean toward option B because it saves more implementation time." When asked about your availability, instead of "any time works," say "I'm most available Tuesday afternoon or Thursday morning." When you disagree, instead of "I guess it's okay," say "I don't agree with this point because it creates more risk in the next phase." Practical action today. In at least one conversation, clearly state something you genuinely want. No circling around, no pulling back halfway. Just once is enough. You'll start to notice how differently people respond to you. Confidence doesn't start with speaking louder. It starts when you stop hiding from your own point of view. The 10 habits we've just covered may seem like small things on the surface. Just a few familiar phrases, a few common speaking patterns, a few automatic reactions in conversation. But the root of these habits isn't in the language itself. It lies in how you see your position in a conversation. You think you need permission to speak. You think you need to soften yourself to make others comfortable. You think lowering yourself first will protect you from judgment. But the more you do that, the more clearly you send one message: I don't fully believe in the value of what I'm saying. And that's why many people, even as they grow more capable and experienced, still don't come across as grounded or confident. Not because they lack value, but because their language hasn't caught up with that value. The most important thing to remember is this: confident speaking is not about being loud, dominant, or trying to appear superior. It's about being clear, concise, intentional, and not apologizing for your rightful presence. That's a skill, and any skill can be trained. So don't try to fix all 10 habits at once. Choose just 2 that you struggle with the most. Only 2. Over the next 7 days, focus on improving those in your daily conversations, when texting, in meetings, when responding to others, when sharing your opinions. The fastest way to change is not by consuming more content, but by applying it in real situations. Right now, do one simple thing: comment the 2 habits you're going to work on starting today. Writing it down publicly makes you more committed to change. And if this video spoke to something you're dealing with, hit like and subscribe so you don't miss the next one. In the next video, we'll go deeper into a very important skill: how to say less but carry more weight, so that every time you speak, people naturally pay attention and listen. If today you feel like you talk a lot but lack certainty, or you're right but not impactful enough, the next video will be exactly what you need. Don't walk away and forget everything after 5 minutes. Pick one conversation you'll have today and try adjusting how you speak, just one sentence, just once. But do it for real, because the confident presence you want isn't built in your head. It's built from the moment you start speaking differently, starting now.